A Case for Black Girls Setting Central Park on Fire has gone on a bit of a journey itself over the last few years. It was a few years ago that Nick and the local team reached out and asked if I wanted to workshop the piece with them because they were inspired by it and they believed in its future. And so it was the fall of 2023 that I got the chance to work with Betty, Hart, and a cast of really incredible actors, one of which is back in this process and playing 12, which is really exciting. But we got to learn about the rhythms of the piece. We got to learn about the poetry of the piece, about the music of the piece, and see what worked and what didn't. And so there were cuts and changes that were made in that process. But just having gotten to get feedback from the audience, get feedback from the cast, and just see a team work on it, that really helped me take the play to its next stage of life. And so the play that you will see this fall is one that has new music. It's got some new rhythms. It's got a new ending, but it still has the same core. It still has, I think, that spark that Nick and the local team saw in it at the first place. I feel grateful that they've helped me to turn that spark into what I believe is a flame. So how did I even start writing this play? So I started writing this play so many years ago now. I think it was in fall of 2018. And I was living in Brooklyn at the time, and I was a 7th grade teacher. And so working with young people and hearing the stories of the girls in my class and reflecting on my own impulses to run and escape as I was trying to make home in this new place, and remembering back to bits of my childhood, like my relationship with my Rottweiler, the historical figures that I called on as a kid through books to be my mentors as I tried to process what it meant to be Black in America. All of those things were kind of swirling in my mind, and I just started writing one night in Brooklyn, looking outside the window, looking at Eastern Parkway, and imagining a 12-year-old girl, a lot like the students that I was teaching, with the pet Rottweiler running, and the ghost of Nat Turner appearing to her, and then the conversation that followed. And that was really the birth of the play. And then the part 1 came later, and it all developed over several years. But the origin of that was really my experience with my students in the classroom, my reflections about my own childhood, and trying to find home in a place that was new. What is 12's journey? I think 12's journey is one of discovery, one of reckoning, but more importantly, I think it is one of community development, right? 12 starts this play oh so alone and ends this play understanding just how connected she is. And that's something that I wish for all of our young people, because I think that there's an epidemic of loneliness, of feeling like you got to do it on your own. And I don't think it just applies to young people. I think it's especially true for young people in this day and age. And I think 12 has to experience a bit of magic to be able to overcome all of the societal forces that are pushing to keep her feeling isolated. So that's 12's journey at the core, with a little bit of magic sprinkled in there as well.